For a long time, what was now New Directions was a committee of the church. There was a young priest named Ben O'Connor who basically came to this church with an idea of saying, I'm going to change, I'm going to make this a different kind of church. I'm going to make this a church where people really care about the folks around them and try to do something to be of help. And if you looked around the neighborhood when you drove down to the church, you saw many people who had needs. Right in the neighborhood, about a couple of blocks from here at 12th and St. Catherine, they built a couple of houses, and that was how they kind of got their foot in the water. But they wanted to do something on a bigger scale and looked for property to build some multiple dwelling housing for low-income people, and eventually, I think, got the property that now became Jackson Woods.
I've been here 27 years, and it's harder today to get the resources to build one apartment than it was then. How many people are willing to hand the homeless person on the corner more than $1 to buy something to eat? But could you build a house they could live in? It's a much different sale. It's a sale I love to try to make.
How do you get a neighborhood to become a real neighborhood? The kind of neighborhoods that a lot of us feel like we grew up in, where people know each other and look out for each other. New Directions is trying to work with and learn, how do you get people to care about their neighborhoods.
Our neighborhood association partnered with New Directions with an in-house loan, so that we leveraged what we were doing in this community as a way to show and teach and demonstrate a concrete example of what people can do at the grassroots level. What you see behind my right shoulder is evidence of what New Directions can do. There are 6 houses, individually owned. Before this was an area of blight. Now it's an area where people are living, playing, and working.
New Directions has been changing neighborhoods for 45 years, and that is a legacy that is critically important to this community. Repair Affair has had a long tradition of excellence in the community, of saving resources by repairing people's homes.
We have homeowners come to us every year asking for help in repairing their home because they don't have any other way to take care of it. Mostly these are elderly, mostly they're women, and there are far too many of them that we have to turn away.
I have never had to ask for anything, but once I did, I got it. And until you live this, you have no idea how important it is to you.
When we get a contract or we are tasked with something, it's going to get done. I have no doubt in my mind that if we say that we're going to rehab these homes, that we're going to help these people, these elderly folks, we're going to build this ramp, I know it's going to get done.
Heaven forbid we had them lined up all over the street. Everybody, my neighbors, was wondering, what's happening at Pat's, I couldn't believe there were still people in this world that cared about other people.
Our strategy is about opening doors and possibilities for the families, so they can dream of a future for their kids. Right now, many of them don't have dreams. We got to change that.
We're a family-oriented place, and we love working with family. I see us growing, above and beyond what we have here going on now. We have the health program, we have the garden going on, we have the mentoring with the youth. We also have a daycare. It's very important that we have respect and dignity one toward another, because that's what helps us grow.
The New Directions Learning Center program is a after-school, out-of-school time program for kids in the neighborhood. So they serve not only the kids in New Directions housing, but kids in the general blocks around the area. This program is really neat because not only do they have the center with the computers and the mentors, and they cook them food in the kitchen, but there's this beautiful space outside for gardening. So there's 22 raised bed gardens, and then there's also this big yard that we can take the kids out and run around. with them. This model of a community learning center after school or during the summer could be something that might close that achievement gap for some of our kids. And I think that it's at least worth trying to experiment with, and it's great that New Directions is allowing us to do that.
You can talk to the staff of New Directions of St. Williams here. They don't just listen to you, they reach their hand out to extend it to help you. Almost make me cry because they've been good to me. I appreciate this place because it is a new beginning for a lot of people. A lot of people who need a second chance in life. This is it. You can't find a better place, you can't find a better staff.
We're not different at all. Everybody's the same. We all want the same things. We all want, we want decent housing, we want good food, we want an education for our children, we want an opportunity, and no one is different in that regard. I don't care what part of the world you're from, it's all the same.
It's about an extended hand in this lifetime. You reach out, you help someone on their way up. Because if somebody could do it for me, I'm supposed to do it for somebody else.
You can stitch a quilt together, and it might be a beautiful thing to look at. Some people would hang it on their wall, but then when it gets wrapped around someone or two people together and it keeps them warm, that's a whole different experience. That's even if it's a small community of two, it has a different purpose. So when our buildings, the hard bricks and mortar of our buildings, become places that hold people like a quilt and bring them together and don't keep them separated by the walls of their apartments, that's where the joy comes from. That's when you know you're building community.